to the ambulance at Sycamore Street. Hurry up now. These people showed up my house and they're dying.
We started getting all these calls. The initial call, if my memory's right, said there's people dead everywhere in this house. Every ambulance that we had in the city of Huntington went to this neighborhood because we had so many people overdosing.
Carfentanil is a veterinary tranquilizer, and it's a tranquilizer that's used for very large animals like rhinoceroses and elephants. And throughout the country, we're seeing fatal overdoses associated with carfentanil.
Carfentanil is 50 to 100 times more potent than regular fentanyl, which means it's up to 10,000 times more potent than morphine. With that huge potency, just the amount of a few grains of sand could be enough to kill.
And if I can see it visually, this is about 0.6 milligrams. This could likely be a fatal dose.
It doesn't care anything about who you are, how much money you are, what your race is, where you come from. Carfentanil is a killer, and it will put you down quickly.
Krissy had a very complex personality. She had a very caring side. She was very compassionate. She was a good friend to a lot of people. But she also had kind of a darker side. She had struggled with anxiety and depression for a good part of her life. We started to get the sense that something was wrong and that she was unsettled. She had come home to visit and she broke down and said, "I've been using drugs and I want to stop and I want to move home." She seemed to be really moving forward, and we didn't have any indication again until we found the day we found her. I'll go up to her room and I knock on her door, and Krissy, didn't hear anything, and knock louder, still didn't hear anything. I was like, okay, well, good, she's gone to work. But just to be sure, I open the door and I look in her room, glance around, don't see her, and about to close the door, and I glance over and I see her on the floor by her bathroom, and she was crumpled up on the floor. She was cold to the touch when I touched her. Almost 8 months later, after she had passed away, and several months after we had gotten the original medical examiner report, we had the police had found the individual who had sold the heroin to Krissy, and they let us know then that there was fentanyl and carfentanil had been found. And that was the first time we had heard about carfentanil.
That's when we really became aware of how deadly this is, and how it's starting to permeate throughout society.
When they originally did the toxicology in conjunction with the autopsy, they were not testing for carfentanil.
Carfentanil, we've really only started to see recently. And in Manatee County especially, we saw carfentanil really explode onto the scene in 2016 as a drug that was being abused and causing a very large number of deaths. That test to identify the drug in biological samples, say if we're going to test somebody's blood to see if that drug caused an overdose, didn't exist at that time when we were first made aware of carfentanil. We were expecting to find a good number of cases, but the huge number of cases we found, especially in June, July, and August from 2016, was really just a big surprise to us. I think it's fair to say that whatever numbers we have for carfentanil locally or statewide or nationally, they're underestimates, because there's no question that there are cases that we're missing.